Could Harry Kane be on his way to making a big summer move to Manchester City? What's the latest on Nuno Mendes and what is happening with Bernardo Silva? That is all to come today in today's transfer targets video. Yes guys, what is up? Welcome back to another video. Today we have another transfer targets episode. There's plenty to talk about. The latest in Harry Kane, a lot broke out last night, as well as a few other transfers like I just said to talk about. Before we get into today's video though, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. As well, massive shout out to the sponsors of today's video, OneFootball. Go check them out, the link is at the top of the description. The app is completely free. It is the #1 football app. It's a must have app if you want to keep up to date with all the latest on the transfers and scores and stuff of the season around the corner. It's one of their maps that's just really used to have, keep up to date with all the latest games. As well, with the Jack Grealish and Harry Kane sagas continuing on, you can keep up to date with these. Just select Manchester City as your favourite team, or if you're not a Man City fan, select whoever you prefer, and you'll get notifications on all the latest transfers, all the latest scores, all the latest news on your club. It's a must-have app, like I said, completely free. Make sure to go and download it. It massively helps me out, and yeah. Anyway, go do that. I'd massively appreciate it, and let's get on into today's video. We start with the Harry Kane saga. A lot of news came out yesterday about this deal pretty much being done. Today, a little bit's changed, but we're going to go through it all right now. So then, we'll go over the news that broke yesterday. The news was that Daniel Levy had changed his mindset and was now willing to let Kane go. He'd done a U-turn, he was prepared. He didn't want Kane to live on bad terms. Kane doesn't want to leave on bad terms. And the talk was that we were prepared to do this deal and it was going to be done fairly soon. The rumours were that Kane had told his family at his brother's wedding last Sunday, I do believe, that he was delighted with the expected, but even that he was very happy that he was going to be able to leave on good terms and that Daniel Levy was not going to make him force his way out of the football club. Numbers floated about sort of yesterday and today were around the £160 million figure, 400k per week. This is a lot of money. This would be by far the most expensive transfer in Premier League history. He'd be the most paid player in the Premier League as well. I think this would be the same way just to Gea and De Bruyne. Today, however, there has been a bit of a U-turn on the U-turn that occurred yesterday, and pretty much City and Spurs have both said they were very surprised by the U-turn. City have strongly denied the rumours, saying that they would never pay £160 million for a single player. This is good news to me. £160 million on Kane is too much. He's a great player. He's the best player in the league, bar probably De Bruyne. But £160 million on a player that's 27, nearly 28 is ridiculous. Spurs have also maintained the fact that they have no intention of selling their captain, their talisman, this summer. Obviously, all these rumours that broke it yesterday, we have no idea how reliable these sources really are. The person that broke it is sort of a Sun reporter that likes to make up a lot of celebrity gossip. He's not very reliable, pretty much. However, what he said was fathomable. It was potentially real, but it just seems very, very unlikely. From this, I think it's quite clear that City and Spurs are quite desperate to keep this transfer on the low. Whether it happens or not, I've got a feeling we won't hear too much about this until the deal's done. I think it might come out of nowhere. A bit like the news last night, I think it could be a situation of 1 minute nothing's happening, the next minute he could be a Manchester City player and it could be getting announced on Twitter. Like I said, I hope we don't spend £160 million on Kane. I think he's a great player. I think he'd do great things in this Man City team. I think he bags 40 goals next season with De Bruyne, Foden, Mahrez, Sterling, Gundogan. I think he bags a lot of goals and I think he probably does propel us to a Premier League title. Next year, should he join? £106 million though, when you can go and get Haaland for the same price, I don't feel the need to spend that on Harry Kane. I do still believe this transfer will happen, even though the sort of rumours that happened yesterday were denied by both clubs. I think Harry Kane will be a Manchester City player. I don't know how long it will be though. We're talking with Daniel Levy here. It takes a while. He's a hard businessman. And so negotiations for this transfer are going to take a while to conclude. I'm hoping we're going to start to see this deal speed up a little bit though. The season is just 3 weeks away. We play Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Obviously, we've got less from the Charity Shield week before that. But yeah, the transfer window doesn't have too long left now. A month and about 7 days-ish until it closes on the 31st of August. So yeah, we do need to start seeing movement on this front. Like I said though, I am confident Harry Kane will end up a Man City player. I'm putting this one in the light blue-white section, as I have done throughout this transfer window so far. Next up on the list, we have Nuno Mendes, the Sporting Lisbon left back. There were a bit of rumours about this one earlier in the week, suggesting that we were preparing a £25 million bid for the Portuguese left back. This is under Sporting's £50 million valuation of the player though. City have come out since and strongly denied the suggestion that we are preparing a bid, saying we have no interest in the player. The talks are that Pep is very happy with his defence and actually is not even looking at left back whatsoever. So Nuno Mendes will not be a Manchester City player this summer. I am slightly disappointed by this. I do think a left back is pretty important this year. The rest of the defence is sorted. Obviously, the keeper is never going to be an issue. Right backs we set for Walker and Cancelo are brilliant. Centre backs we set for unless maybe Laporte goes, but that's looking unlikely now. And then there's left back, and we've needed one of these for a long time. Pretty much for the last 10 years, you could pretty much say we could have done with a left back. Probably since 12, 13-ish. I'd have said, I wouldn't argue with a left back. It's always been one of the weakest positions in our team. We tried to address it in 2017 by signing Benjamin Mendy. That's not worked out. And I think we've been understaffed in this position for a very long time. This being said, if selling Mendy is not an option, you can't really afford to have 3 left backs at the club. Mendy's on big wages, so I'm not sure if it is feasible signing a left back, although we do need one. This obviously does mean that Zinchenko is probably going to be the number 1 choice left back next season, as we all expected. And I think he's done great. I think he deserves a shot at it. I just don't think he's good enough. I think he's an alright player. He's a good backup, but he's not a left back, and he's quite slow. And I think he's there for the taking. And I think if you were an opposition team, you'd always say Zinchenko's the weak link in our team. Like I said though, it might not be viable signing a left back, especially if we sign Kane and Grealish. This is going to cost upwards of 225 million is the talks. And so signing a left back on top of that, even if we sell a few players, might not be possible. This being said, although it is very unlikely, should we not sign one of Kane or Grealish, who knows, maybe we'll come back to this left back issue and potentially address it. And maybe Nuno Mendes will end up still being a Man City player this summer if one of Kane or Grealish doesn't sign for us. Like I say, I think this transfer is very, very unlikely. However, not impossible. So I'll be putting this in the dark blue section just on the off chance that one of Kane or Grealish doesn't sign. But yeah, I do think this one's unlikely. The final transfer to talk about today is Bernardo Silva. The talks are, should we sign Kane and Grealish? Bernardo Silva will be the one that ends up making way to raise the funds for these players. Obviously, so far the talk has been made around 62.5 million-ish. Should we sell Ilicic? And that's all just from academy CFG players, which is very, very good. Obviously, though, Kane and Grealish, like I said, 225 million plus in costs, so we are going to need to raise a little bit more. The talk is Bernardo Silva could be the one to go. 50 to 60 million pounds is the price tag. This would raise our revenues to around 125 million pounds this summer from player sales, which would be very, very good. This being said, 50 to 60 million pounds, but for Bernardo Silva is absolutely ridiculous. This would be one of the most stupid things Cheeky has done since being appointed at Manchester City. Personally, I think Bernardo Silva is one of our best players. He's not had too many great seasons. That 18-19 season, though, was incredible. In my opinion, he deserves Player of the Year, PFA Player of the Year that year. He won Etihad Player of the Year. Last year was also very, very important in our 21-game winning streak. With Kev Gunn, he played a key role. He's influential to our team. He's got an engine like no one else. He's technically gifted. But yeah, I think it'd be stupid to let Bernardo Silva go. I think he's a crucial player, and I think 50 to 60 million pounds is quite frankly a joke. I think he's at least 80 to 90 million pounds personally. Atleti and Barca are the clubs that are rumoured to him, or they are the clubs that have been rumoured to him so far this summer. Obviously, Barca in their financial situation are not going to be able to afford 50 to 60 million pounds. Who knows about Atleti? If he's available for 50 to 60 million pounds, though, I can't see a club not picking him up. I mean, we are talking a seriously world-class player here on his day, and 50 to 60 million pounds in the current day, in my opinion, that's an absolute steal. I'm desperate for him to stay. He's one of my favourite players personally. I enjoy watching him a lot. I actually do think he will stay. I can't really see any clubs picking him up. I can't see Barca picking him up. I don't think Atleti will go for him. And I don't know who else is interested in a player like that at the moment, which is very good news for us. However, there is obviously a decent chance that he will leave, and so I'm going to put him in dark blue / light blue, that kind of region. Anyway, that is all from me today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back again tomorrow with my early Premier League predictions. Make sure to stay tuned for that. As I said, leave a like and subscribe if you're not already. And turn notifications on so you're notified the second I upload that video. Like I said, that's all for me today. I'll be back in tomorrow, and I will see you then. Goodbye.